Hey guys, it's Michelle from Michelle Creations. I just have to tell you that, like I've told you in the past, I'm trying to go through all of my old project retreats that I have not had time to finish when life interrupted me. And I finally got to the one from 2023, the Winterfest with Country Craft Creations. For some reason, I never did the weekend event, even though I took time off. And so thankfully, it was all on YouTube, and I was able to go through all of the classes that we had, as you can see, and get everything done. So I wanted to share with you a project share of all the fun things we made. In 2023, this was one of the kits. This is the Doodlebug calendar. So as you can see, it is pretty massive. It doesn't even fit in full frame, and I have the camera lifted up higher. And I'm so excited that I got this done because now I can use it this year for my advent calendar for Christmas. So I wanted to share this with you. Now, to me, I feel that when you do a Country Craft Creations retreat virtually, you kind of get like a little simple project to kind of get your juices flowing and stuff like that. And this to me was one of those that kind of got me inspired. I'm trying to see if I can show this, but we even made the roofing of shingles, which was so fun. The sides are done. They're matted. The back doesn't have anything. I'm trying to make sure these don't fall out. But you did have an option, I remember in 2023, where you can purchase their little doodle pops to add additional 3D dimensional on the front of the covers. I do have some on hand that I purchased my own, but I really like it the way it is, plain Jane. And I just think it's just so fun. So I cannot wait to put this in. So this was one of the makes that I made. The next one I did was this cute little folio. It's again just plain Jane. I really want to put a sentiment here, but I'm not sure yet which one I want to put. And they're just these cute little critters of farm animals. I did create a closure. The designer for this class did not, but I was like, I really want a closure on this. And again, to me, it was very simple and to me easy to put together. And I kind of gravitate after an event happens to do those first because I feel like I'm actually making progress. I kind of do it the same way that we do with our kids for homework kind of thing. So I went through some of the pattern paper that I had left over, and I just basically added them in the little pockets that we have here. And I still have a lot of paper left over, and I have places where I can even put inserts and stuff like that. So like for this, I can put sentiments and little critters as well, because I have some left over. It was hard because I didn't know where I wanted to put them, but at the same time, I wasn't sure where I would place my photos. So that's kind of why this one is a little bit plain, basic. This one is actually a flap, so it just goes up. And with this particular folio, I did do my own creative freedom in regards to choosing the papers for the pages. So if you guys did this class in 2023 when it aired, it's gonna look a little different. The same thing with this cute little side pocket here, and then the little belly band. And then this one was kind of neat, creating this one. I've never done this before. You basically pull this little notch here, and then you have like a little cut apart or tag of the houses. I'm sure it's supposed to be designed where you put a sentiment here or something, but again, I wasn't sure what I wanted to put. And then this is also another flap. So you go up, and then you have this beautiful scenery. This collection was very pretty. You have another insert here, and then this one here had a waterfall option. So I went with the basic colors and just flipped them. Again, you could definitely add sentiments, and I just thought this cute little leftover piece I had worked perfect. And then I did add a little embellishment here of the little squirrel. I just thought it was so cute. And then these just live here to kind of like hold the flap down. And then here off to the right, again, it's another tall pocket. There was one option to put another pocket here at the bottom, but I opted not to do that. And then again, you just have more cut aparts in here. So I thought it was very simple. To me, it's a cute little project that you could definitely gift to somebody, or keep it on hand, and then just had space to add to it. So again, the second out of 4 in this retreat. And then let's see, the next ones are a little bit time consuming, but just as gorgeous. So this one here is one that I just love the paper. I believe this is a graphic 45 paper. So I did add the cut aparts here or the skew that had all the flower embellishments here. Pop this up on the front. Did add the ribbon or twine on the side, and then it's just beautiful. And I'm pretty sure if you follow Country Craft Creations, you know who this is the designer for, Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy. I just love how she always does all the flips and flaps. It's just so fun. So that is the first one. I'm trying to remember how many things I had in here, because there's just so many intertwining options. This goes up, and then this comes down, but then the whole thing flops up. So it was a cool, different type of option. Now she did have options to do magnets, but I didn't do the magnets because I was actually making this at my mom's house for a crafting event that we do for a family, and I left my magnets at home, so I wasn't gonna drive back home to get them, but I just did with what I had. And then here is just, again, a pocket at the top. And I believe this one also had a pocket at the top. So I just took whatever remnants I had of the collection, and I pretty much just placed it in there. So that's that one. This one, Plain Jane, which is okay. You definitely want to have just basic pages from time to time. This one was a little bit tricky for me because I kept mismeasuring. It was so annoying, but I eventually got it. So I thought it was pretty neat how we made this like zigzag trifold concept, and it really should have had a magnet because of the way that it kind of bounces, but it does not. And then it has a pocket in the back for an insert, and then you turn it over, there's also an insert at the top. And then you flip it over to the back, and then this one had a mechanism that slid, which again was pretty neat. And then it comes up, and then you have that cute little sentiment, and then also a belly band at the same time. So like, let's keep making it work, right? So again, it was just like the mechanics of it all and how it functions is just so neat. So that was that one. And then on this side, again, another Plain Jane option. You definitely have a pocket with an option here. Now I ran out of this color cardstock, so what I did was I basically just took a cardstock that came with the collection, and I kind of just like fanned it out to kind of make it the same width, and then just added some embellishments. So sometimes you can do that depending on how much you have left over in the make you're working on. And of course this one wants to give me a problem going in. And then when you flip it over, here we have kind of like a cascading waterfall kind of thing, but it's not a waterfall. It's mainly just little tiny cards that are flapped over, and then you have a pocket. So I thought that was kind of cool and different. You could definitely add photos, journaling. That's kind of like why I left this blank, to add journaling if I wanted to. And again, a magnet would have been perfect, but I left those at home. And then the backing. So I just thought this was like so fun, and you know, it gave me that vintage but traditional feel for the collection. So that was a third one. And then the final one that was in this 2023 Country Craft Creations kit, and this is a holiday one, so I'm not sure if they still have any available for slots, but they do have this every year. I think I've signed up already now 4 times, or 4 years. And so I will be participating in their 2025 retreat that they're having this year. And so this is the 4th album that we made. And so these are all made from scratch. So I'm not repurposing an album from another company and then adding stuff on. This is put together with chipboard and all that stuff. So this one here is one of those graphic 45 collections. This again was also another designer, the same designer, Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy. She has free tutorials on her site, so if this is something you want to try out, and you don't want to pay for an entire retreat, you definitely want to check her out. Her channel is filled with so many things. So here you have the flap that opens. These are little tuck spots here. I do have another cascading waterfall with all the different options. I did leave every other one blank, mainly for photos, but you definitely have the card, 4x6 cards that are in there. Then this closes and keeps that closed. Then you move over here. And again, it was very simple putting it together in regards to the base construct, and then you just embellish it to your liking. So we have like 3 different signatures in here and a pocket in the back. And so we're just mainly mounting different things, and again, adding and putting together like just whatever leftovers you have. And then you flip it over, and then here you have another pocket. So you had one pocket on one side, another pocket on another. And again, just adding the inserts. Here's the next signature, and then you have another pocket. Flip it over, the same kind of style pocket. So just going through all my leftover embellishments. The next pocket, and then I just have my insert. Oh, there's 4 signatures. I thought there was 3. And then again, the same thing. Here's the next one. I feel like a broken record, but I'm gonna say it anyways. And then the final signature with the inserts. So this one has a flip up with different little things in it. And then this one here is pretty neat. You have multiple little tiny pockets within the envelope flap. So here are more of the cut aparts that we basically created with just whatever leftover stuff we had. And then we put that up, and then you have more stuff. It's like, ooh, we have more things. So I think if you're someone is doing like stationery cards and stuff like that, this to me would be a perfect kind of folio to gift to somebody. And then these are the bigger ones. So I thought this was a lot of fun. Again, a little late to the party and getting it done, but I got it done either way. So I just wanted to put that out there in case you are like me, where you have piles of boxes sitting in a corner somewhere or on your desk, and it's eyeing you with this evil look. Don't be discouraged. You'll eventually get there. Just give yourself some grace, and you know, it'll happen. Just be patient. As long as you know those videos are on YouTube. That's the main point, because we all know what happened with Facebook. Those lives went away after 30 days. So unless the person downloaded them and put them back up, you're not gonna have access to them. So one thing I do like showing you guys are always the leftover stuff that comes after I've made everything. So I probably had more of the second one I showed you, which was this kit. I thought it was Graphic 45, but it's not. It's parts of it is Echo Park, and I think Stempera. So I do have a lot left over here, but as you saw, I didn't really embellish it that much, so that's probably why. And then the advent calendar, these are actually from my stash that I pulled because I wasn't sure if I wanted to utilize them, but I did have 1.5 sheets left over the cardstock they gave us, and then all of these puffy icons. So I'm probably just gonna put it back in my stash and just use it when I want to, but I just wanted to share that with you. And then which one's this one? Oh, the Simple Stories one. I thought that was, yeah, it was Simple Stories. I do have some charms left over, mainly because I didn't put them where I was supposed to, but I really only had, as you can see, only strips left, and then a lot of the flowers, and I think a few of the embellishments. So I just like keeping everything together so I'm officially done with a retreat, because you never know when you need a little piece here and there. And then what I do with my instructions is I usually just file them in a drawer, because I never know if I need them again. Sometimes it kind of gives me inspiration to do something of my own. And then the same thing, this one was the Graphic 45. I do have a little bit more sheets left over, but I actually do still have this collection kit, so I'll probably just merge them. So again, that is pretty much my project here, guys. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Like I said, Country Craft Creations does this once a year for the holiday time frame. It is only virtual, is no in-person option for this event. And we have a lot of fun. It's usually held in November, so you definitely have enough time to get all this done if you're making them for Christmas kits maybe, or Christmas gifts. So something you might want to look into. I will drop the link below if it's still available on their site, and in case you're interested. But if it's not, don't be discouraged, because there is a new year coming and hopefully you guys can get on it. I want to say around the summertime, so July, August is typically when they put this on their website, and they do have options for payment plans, because I know things can get pricey, especially the way the economy goes. So if you are interested and it's just not in your budget, or you want to do a payment plan, they do offer that on their site, which is usually what I do, because yeah, you guys see all the stuff I buy. Anyways, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will catch you in the next video. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and take care. Bye.